Welcome back to the Cumbie Show. We talk it as we don't care how you feel. And the Georgia Bulldogs get a win on the road against the wannabe Bulldogs of the SEC, Mississippi State, 41-21. Georgia finally puts together a full four-quarter game on both sides of the ball. They looked great on offense. They looked good on defense. And they put the whooping up on the little Bulldogs of the SEC. Let's jump straight into it. We'll start with the offense. They did exactly what they needed to do against a team like this. You got to be careful about what you take from this game. Mississippi State is not a good team. Their front seven, particularly on defense, is not good. But at the end of the day, Georgia did everything they needed to do, they should do against a team like this. They go on the road. They put up 41 points. Gunnar Stockton looked good. He was 18 of 29 on the day, 264 passing yards, even 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He had 31 rushing yards. Nate Frazier went off. This is by far Nate Frazier's best game as a Georgia Bulldog. He was 12 for 181, 1 touchdown. He averaged 15.1 yards per carry. Now, he did have a big explosive play. He had a couple, actually. One of them, he went for 59, I think was his longest of all time. But nonetheless, he went off. We got to see Bo Walker and Chauncey Bowens some more. I think Bo Walker got a touchdown. The offense was there, and every step of the way, I got some of the numbers here. Noah Thomas and Zachariah Branch had a good game as well. What a great pickup that Georgia got in the offseason with Zachariah Branch. Whatever they paid him, it was worth it. Well worth it. He has been an elite weapon, elite playmaker for this Georgia offense. Honestly, I feel like if Georgia didn't have him this season, they could be sitting with a couple of losses. But either way, looks good in all phases of the offense. And what I like to see is that this offense continues to get better each and every week. That O-line is playing well. We're starting to get some guys rested up. Gunnar Stockton is looking like he's becoming a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident. He looks a lot more comfortable with the pass protection. He looks like a lot more comfortable taking shots downfield. So I really like what I saw on offense. You had the Dylan Bell fumble on the 1-yard line in the first quarter. That was very aggravating at first. I think at that point, if they scored there, would have made it 17-7. But nonetheless, they looked good all the way around. Very scary injury for Lawson Lucky there, though, in the first half. In the second quarter, just a simple slant route. Gunnar Stockton throws it to him. He catches it, goes to turn, clear as day targeting on him. He was unconscious. He was out. Lights out. As soon as he was hit and he went down, I was standing in my living room. I was like, oh, yep, he's out cold. He laid on the ground for quite a few seconds. Very scary at the time. Luckily, he's okay. He got back up. He was even telling everyone he wanted to go back in, but they're like, no, man, he ain't going back in the game. But he appears to be fine. I'm sure he'll be fine for Georgia's next game. Definitely went into concussion protocol, but very scary at first, but luckily he's good. So at the end of the day, offense looked great. Liked what I saw from them on that side. Like I said, O-line is playing great. Run game was phenomenal. Gunnar Stockton had another good game. Receivers went off. They did exactly what they needed to do against Mississippi State. Like I said, be very careful what you take from this game because I don't think Mississippi State is that good of a team, specifically their defense in that front seven. But either way, they look good. Moving over to the defense, though, I really like what I saw from this defense. The reason being is that, yes, I do think that this Mississippi State team is not a good team, but this is the type of offense that has given Georgia fits all season long. Teams that can pass with an elite, I don't want to say elite quarterback because they don't have an elite quarterback, but you know what I mean. Like, Georgia's Achilles heel on defense has been getting after the quarterback and just allowing receivers wide open downfield. Time in and time again have we seen receivers streaking down the field, wide open, not a defender in sight, blown coverage, wide open in the secondary. This Georgia secondary is getting lit up. So I got to be honest, as a Georgia fan, I was a little nervous going into this game. I felt like Mississippi State was going to be able to put up a lot of points on this Georgia defense and that we might have ourselves a game going late into the fourth quarter. But that just wasn't the case. Obviously, Mississippi State come out, same script we've seen every other game. They score a touchdown on their first drive. At this point, I'm convinced anyone can score a touchdown on their first drive against this Georgia defense. I made a joke in my TikTok video that I could go out on the field completely blindfolded with my dead dog's ashes, and just the two of us, me and his ashes, could score a touchdown on our first drive against this Georgia defense. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the issue seems to be. I really don't know what. At this point, Georgia should just spot the other team 7 points. Hey, here you go. It's the start of the game. We're going to give you 7 points. We'll start down a touchdown. We'll go from there. Because anyone and everyone has scored on their opening drive against this Georgia defense. I think out of every SEC game Georgia has played, only one team has not scored on their opening drive, and that was Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. So either way, kind of saw that coming. You're like, oh, here we go again. But after that first drive, this defense locked it down. They shut down this Mississippi State offense. After that first touchdown on that first drive, Georgia then shut out Mississippi State on their next 6 consecutive drives, which is really good to see. And one thing I really like is they had 3 sacks and 6 tackles for loss. Now, like I said, this Mississippi State team is not the best. That O-line has not been good all season. They've given up a lot of sacks, a lot of tackles for loss throughout the season. But this Georgia defense was the second least sacks in CFB. So we'll take it wherever we can get it. So good to see that we got sacks, multiple sacks in a single game, 6 tackles for loss. That's really good. So, I mean, all in all, this Georgia defense held Mississippi State to, 173 passing yards, 149 rushing yards. Now, that rushing yard is typically it's a little bit higher than what we see from this Georgia defense allowing. But nonetheless, they do what they need to do on the road. They got the 2 touchdowns, the 2 garbage time touchdowns. One of them was late in the third, and then the other one was late in the fourth quarter. So Georgia had their second and third string guys in by that time. But nonetheless, they get a good win, and it is a complete full 4-quarter game on both sides of the ball, which is what we've kind of been waiting to see from Georgia. And it's been very frustrating. There's times where Georgia looks absolutely elite, but it's for like a quarter, maybe 2 quarters. And it's either the offense is great or the defense is great. This is one of the first games, maybe outside of that Kentucky game, where they've finally been able to come together on both sides of the ball from the very start of the game to the very end of the game. So can they keep that momentum moving forward? We'll see. They play Texas this weekend. I will have a video coming out about that probably tomorrow. But in today's college football world, this is kind of what you want. You want to get hot at the right time. You want your team to play their best football when it matters. And I think Georgia's starting to turn the page to that. I think they're starting to get hot at the right time. You go back this time last year, not many people were considering Ohio State as the clear-cut number 1 favorite to win the national championship. Yes, there's people out there still picking them, but Ohio State had flaws. They looked shaky. They'd already had a loss to Oregon. They were getting ready to lose to Michigan in a couple weeks. Granted, we didn't know that at the time. But you finished the regular season, and Ohio State was not everyone's favorite pick to win the national championship. What did they do? They got hot at the right time. They played their best ball when it mattered, and they went through the playoff like it was nobody's business, won a national championship. So I'm saying all that to say that in today's world of college football, you need to stay healthy as possible, and play your best ball when it matters. I think Georgia's starting to get there. Can they build off this momentum? I think the offense is good. I like what I see in the offense. I really do feel like they're getting better each week. They're getting more comfortable. They're getting more confident. I like what I'm seeing. I actually am liking what I'm seeing from Mike Bobo. And I'll be the first to admit it. I was a Mike Bobo hater, kind of still am. Sometimes it just drives me nuts with the screens over and over. But I have liked from what I've seen with him, from him, the way that we're getting our playmakers involved, with the way we're utilizing Zachariah Branch and our tight ends. I do like that. So can our defense actually put it together? We'll see coming up. Like I said, they do play Texas this weekend, this Saturday. It is a night game, primetime game in Athens. I will have a preview coming out for that. The story of that game, though, just to give you a little sneak peek of my preview, the story of that game is going to be how well Arch Manning plays. I think Texas has a great defense, but if Arch Manning plays the way that he played last week, I think that Texas has a good chance at giving this Georgia team fits and potentially winning. If Arch Manning plays any other time that he's played the rest of this year, Georgia's going to dog walk Texas. It is what it is. But either way, Georgia goes on the road to Mississippi. They get the win 41-21 against the wannabe Bulldogs. Everyone can go give the middle finger to Brandon Walker over there at Barstool. One of the most annoying, negative guys that I've ever had the unfortunate pleasure of hearing. Big middle finger you to Brandon Walker. You ain't no real Bulldog. We are. Either way, great win. Georgia looked good. They're getting ready to close out the season here with, just a few games left. Season has gone by so quick. It felt like it just got here. It's almost over. But other than that, that's all. Over and out.